So we've had a look now at the drawing tools and how to draw objects manually, but sometimes you might have an image in mind that's already available online. Illustrator has a powerful built-in tracing function. So once you've found an image that you want to use as a reference, we can come up to the File menu and we want to look for Place. Now we want to browse to where we have our images saved and double click on it to select it. Next thing we need to do is choose where to place this image. So click where you want it to go and put it somewhere on the page where it's easy to work with. Now you'll notice up in the menu bar we've got a few options up here. There's one here called Image Trace is what we're looking for. If we click on Image Trace, it'll attempt to trace that image and give you a little preview of what's happening. In this case it's just a black and white image, so it's a fairly easy object for Illustrator to be able to trace for us. So if we come along here and click Expand, it'll convert it into the actual paths, and you can see there now I have a blue path around it like I've drawn it with my pen tool. When you trace objects, they stay together as a group, so you might want to right click on that and choose to ungroup to allow you to modify separate parts of it. So in this case now I can select just the apple itself, and if I come over here to the left hand side I can swap the fill and stroke, so the fill is now transparent and I now have a black stroke. In this case here it's also traced a white background. I don't need that, so I can just delete that, and it's going to leave the other parts of the shape here. Click on the stem, same thing, and now I've traced my Apple logo and it's ready for me to use. I've gone and selected a more complicated image now. Some images trace really well, others need a little bit of work to get the parts that you need, and some just don't trace well at all, especially if it's a photo with a lot of details. But there's a few tricks you can use to try to get the most information out of an image you can. So if I click on this one and choose Image Trace, you'll notice that it's done an okay job, but I've lost a lot of detail. If I go up to the preset up here, there's lots of different things I can choose from to retrace that and try to get more quality and a better trace out of it. So that one there is pretty close, but there's a few gaps left in it. This one here, the shades of grey, have converted that pretty well. So if I want to keep that, I'll click on Expand. You can see it's turned it into paths. I'll also right click and ungroup it. So now I can come along and select different parts of the image that I need. So you can see a complicated image like this would require a bit of work if I wanted any parts of this to be cut out, because there's several different shapes that make it up. However, the tracing tool saves a lot of time than drawing things manually.